Good morning, everybody. Yes, we are back in the same room. It's been a couple weeks. To be honest,
Some of us was working. I'm just saying.
yeah.
Just putting it out there.
You know what I mean?
Some of us have been working.
Yes. These listen, the AM show has been doing their duties. Al and Mike here have been filling in for me. I've been down, covering all across, NCAA lacrosse, and then I had problems with my car. But yeah, we are all back under the same roof. I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but Mike, I'm going to get right into it. I mean, speaking of bad thing, this Phillies team this week kind of came back down to reality a little bit as far as their pitching. I mean, hasn't looked their best. I would say starting believing Wednesday up there in Boston. Now, a lot of people are going to blame the overseas travel from London last week, whatever the case.
Oh,
may
he's
be.
going on the Matty B stance.
No, I'm just going.
Sounds like it, don't it?
But I'm thinking it came. They're a little bit coming back down to reality. Christopher Sanchez on Wednesday got walloped. Thursday, Arnola got walloped. And it's been bad baseball. I mean, listen. They got a couple good wins. They got to win. They salvage their their series against Boston, and they also got to win against the Orioles. But listen, the Phillies fans wanted it. They wanted better competition, and that almighty AL East. There they are. You're facing the cream of the crop over there. So again, this Phillies team, Mike, what is it to you? Are you a little bit in pack mode, or has this pitching staff come down to reality?
No, it hasn't. Aaron Nola had 8 days off. Like, that's almost 2 full
What's up,
starts.
everyone?
What's up, Insadio? Happy Father's Day. Again, my wife was checking in too.
Oh yes,
everybody checking in. Happy Father's Day.
Yes.
But no, as far as this,
quote unquote coming back down to earth.
I mean, Noah had 8 days. Like, I'm sorry, he had too much time off.
And there's a thing
Wouldn't
about
that be
it.
better?
No, it's not. Not with him. It's not.
This is what I was fighting about Matty B with. There is stats that show you that guys have too much time off.
Or bad.
I mean, Alvarado, we saw it in London. He was like overthrowing, like he was too amped up. Like there is a thing about in baseball, especially in baseball, about guys are creatures of habit. That is my key factor here. Is it the only reason that they're losing? They lost anything? No. It is a factor in why they lost. This team is playing against really good competition right now, and when you make mistakes against good competition,
you pay for it.
You pay for it. If this was the Marlins, then
But I mean, listen, Fenway's been a house of horrors for the Phillies anyway.
True.
So they never really if you would have signed up, Pat, for them to be where they are right now before the season started, dude, you would have been. You would have had a tattooed across your bum. You know what I mean?
Like, listen, good thing I got my shorts on.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about House of Cards.
Coffee roll, man. Coffee roll.
Are we? Dive's checking and said, "Are we upset about the Phillies right now?" I am a little bit. Listen. You guys want to look the other way?
I'm not looking the other way. It's 162. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. As Matty B says, right? It's a marathon.
I think I said this every year since we started doing the Fighting's Final. Even when the team was doing really bad, like below 500 bad, in going into June, like it is, it's a marathon. We always say if you're going to lose 100. If you're going to win 100 games, that means you lost 62. Like that has to be brought into the conversation. We're still on the track to win 100 games. I think as of right now.
Right. I mean, look at this.
We haven't won. We've been winning 88 games, 85 games to win.
Pat, look at it like this: from the beginning of the season until really last week, the Phillies were the best team in baseball for 2.5 months. Okay, the Yankees finally overtook them. Okay.
What's up, Phil?
What's up, Phil?
Happy Father's Day.
Listen, certain guys got to get out of the funk. I started to see that yesterday. Stott looks like he's starting to come back around again. Bohm's looking like he's starting to pick up where he left off. Schwarber's getting hot.
Yeah.
Trey Turner's close to coming back. I think that's going to help the Phillies offensively as well. Brandon Marsh.
And not right away either.
Not right away, but
it is. Even Marsh. Like everybody go, Marsh is back. I'm like, yeah, but just hasn't played in like 12 days or
I-
so.
Well, no, he played the other night.
Played Major League Baseball, I should say.
Alpha in the room says the Phils are just in the funk offensively right now. Got to get back working counts. That part a little bit disagree. I think the major, like I said, is the pitching right now. The pitching hasn't been that great.
Because as I said and Matty B hated the term, they needed to recalibrate. It is a word. It is a term. It is not something I made up.
Big.
It is the way. It means that they are out of sync right now, and they got to get right back in the sync. So you want to use it in sync if they're in a funk.
Yesterday, Taijuan Walker gave him a pretty good outing yesterday. Gave him a pretty darn good outing. It was the bullpen that came in. Well, Rios, or not Rios, Ruiz. He got lit up. But for the most part, dude, Taijuan Walker kept you in that game yesterday. And he didn't have his best stuff either. He looked like he was all over the place. Yeah. He was high. So, but you just got to tip your cap. Like, if you look at it, they found ways. They after dropping 2 in Boston, they won 2. Okay? They dropped yesterday. Now, today, you got your number 1 pitcher on Wheeler going. Okay? And this guy that, was it Barnes? Barnes, right?
Yeah.
Barnes or Burns? Yeah. Corbin Burns. It's not like the Phillies haven't seen him. He was with Milwaukee. You know what I mean? So the Phillies have seen him. The guy that they had yesterday, the Phillies never saw him, which, again, that goes back from the time I was a tyke. Every time the Phillies played somebody that they never saw, they never do well.
Right. Well, listen, he's
and listen,
it's a great pitching. Joel, I mean, Wheeler is 8-3. He's 7-2. So I mean, it's.
Oh, listen, that's going to be a really good game today.
Yeah,
it's going to be a really good game. And listen, Baltimore's a really good team. So just step and think about this for a second. If they beat them, now nobody can open their mouth and say anything. You know what I mean? Muffler Mike Ticklin's fans should be more upset about the Union and the Water Dogs right now.
Yeah, listen, they're Water Union.
Did they even play yesterday? They played yesterday,
Union
right?
Stink. Union stink at home. They haven't had a win since late March at home, and then Water Dogs better check their college coach. But anyway,
wow.
Yeah. But look, Mike, I would love to agree with you. Listen, they've been playing great baseball. You know, like I said, like you said, I would sign up. First 2 months of baseball have been great. I'm a little bit pondering, just like I kind of expected. We all said it. When's the other shoe going to drop? And it might have already. I just hope they haven't completely lost. I'm just hoping they haven't ran out of fuel.
No, I don't think they ran out of fuel, dude. Listen, your thing is this. The goal was to win the series. So as long as the Phillies keep winning 2 out of 3, they're going to get to where they got to get to.
Well, to Steve's point here, he says the 22 season actually had a difficult schedule in the beginning. It was managed the way up. Right. It didn't do any favors. But remember, they changed the manager and the whole thing. That was 2 years ago. And listen, we were 12 games out of it. Now we're sitting on the top of the mountain. And I'm wondering if it's time to they're going to start falling down. Hey, Matty B and Pat, WIP call. They want
their takes back. Please stop being so reactionary.
Listen, that's all we do. That's what Northeast guys do. Okay, we see something that
speak for yourself.
We see something that happens in front of us. All right, this is what me, Matty B. This is our pupils.
I don't mind people being reactionary. My thing is like the way it comes off your lips. It sounds like they're a bottom feeder team. They're not playing as well as they should. They're still like 8 games above the second place team in the NL East.
Oh, is it 8?
Yeah,
it's like 8
Braves.
or 9.
Up 8 on the Braves, up 5 on the Dodgers. So they still run the NL.
Yeah, I mean, and they're still like a game or 2 within the top in the Major League Baseball. I mean, they sat top Major League Baseball for 2.5 months, and now they're still there. I mean, if you were a person from out of town who doesn't follow baseball, doesn't listen to the radio or anything, but you turn it on, if certain people would make you think this team is 20 games under 500 right now, and that's my thing. Like,
it doesn't make you raise an eyebrow.
Listen, they don't get.
There's nothing wrong without raising your eyebrows and questioning the facts. But like I said, I had Matty B roasting me on Friday night. About calling it Big Al's excuses Emporium. Like, it's not an excuse. We're supposed to be analytical, right? I'm analyzing the situation. Here's
Why do I feel like it's always a tag team match with me, Matt, versus you two all the time?
Because
you
you
two
two are
knuckleheads.
Yes, it's that border in Mayfair, man. Like, guys, I don't know.
Like
But
for a guy who umps baseball, Matty B, you would
Yes.
think he would know that a game that, as I've said 1,000 times, is a 30% game. If guys are batting 300 at the end of the season, they had a really good season, right? Am I wrong? So is it weird that at one point in the season that the team is offensively a little streaky, and telling me that it's outrageous to
listen,
think
Maddie's
that they
still
haven't been home since a week ago Wednesday?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
but
listen.
that's no excuse.
Listen,
I didn't say it's an
Maddie's
excuse for
still
the
mad
whole
about
thing.
Maddie's still mad about the whole box thing. Like, he swears like they can't. Oh, how dare they put a box up on TV? Well, God forbid if they put a box that goes from your, your chest to your knees, like we were all taught. God forbid if it shows that
Listen,
umpires are flawed. Maddie,
I
B.
get that box isn't 100%, but
No, it's not.
But there is, and this is my thing is, if we can get on players about having bad games, bad pitching outings, bad hitting streaks,
then we
and
can
all
get
that.
on umpires.
I mean, there is times that it's so far out the box, even
Friday
the
night,
incorrectness of the box has to be brought
Friday
up.
night, bro, I'll bring it up. One Bryson stopped when he got called out. That thing was 4 inches off the plate. 4 inches off the plate, and they rung him up. Like, that was a totally bad pitch. And again, Maddie, it is what it is.
And again, it's not me giving the excuse, oh, they haven't been home in a while. They're hitting bad. That's not my point. My point is they're kind of in a rut right now, and then the facts on top of that it's just going to take a little time. I think once they get home and they can get back into their normal routine. And again, like, I know people got a little nervous because Suarez had a good outing, but not the greatest Suarez outing.
No.
Aaronola didn't look great. We all know that. But I'm saying this, I will worry when it's a game or it's the next game that happens again, and the next game after that happens. That's where I start to worry. One bad game isn't going to change my mind on something. 2 bad games, 3 bad games, we got a problem.
We do got a problem. I mean, listen, Adam said, Adam says, again, a couple guys are coming in here saying it's the offense. Offense is what's been putting this team on the board. Like, I mean, they strike first.
They haven't.
Yes, they have a couple games.
Pat, yesterday they scored 2 runs the whole game.
2 runs, but they got on the board first.
Doesn't matter. Like, if if your pitching staff is giving up 6,
right?
Your offense, but your offense has got to be able to pick you back up.
I put yesterday's game more on the offense in the long run. There was no support. The guys were kind of playing from behind.
That wasn't the eighth inning,
You got Castellanos up there doing his bad habits again, swinging for the fences and swinging at everything that comes down his lane, even if it's 20 feet outside the fake strike zone that Matty B doesn't believe in. Even if Bryce Harper is not playing well right now, but to sit here and tell me he stinks is outlandish. He is bad right now. Absolutely, he is not playing well. But you have to look at this in the whole view. Is we'll talk about the end of the season. If you even remember June 10th to the 15th, 16th, 17th, we'll talk about it then.
And listen, Schwarber's getting productive, but like he's not hammering the ball out like he's been. He had a couple home runs the other night, but
but to me, I think Schwarber's been your best player since June 1st. I mean, 3 home runs, 6 hits, and 8 walks. I mean, that's
right. He's getting on base. He's doing what a particular leadoff guy's supposed to do.
But he's not a particular leadoff hitter. Well, he's doing it like that. And here's one, Steve saying, at some point, injuries were going to catch up. Especially JT. Made me laugh when people said we overpaid for him. Not even just that, Steve. That was one of my reasons. I said, is it weird that the pitching has gone a little down since JT went down? I mean, we forget how much of a catcher is a maestro to it.
But according to Matty B, Logan O'Hoppe.
It's not even that. The Logan O'Hoppe. It's like,
you got to trade good pieces to get good pieces.
It's my thing is saying, like, when that happens, that it's not going to throw guys off because they're paid a lot of money. You could pay me $1 billion, but I can't land a rocket on the moon.
Right.
You know what I mean? My point is there is going to be ups and downs. They are thrown off. Like I said, they have been on this long road trip. They have had some weird time off. They missed. JT is probably the biggest piece of the puzzle, and then it's going to take these guys time to get used to Marchand, or however you pronounce it right, and Stubbs every day. It's something that it is an important aspect of the game. These guys are creatures of habit. They are so used to having certain guys at certain positions. They're so used to, and you see what it is. How many times have we said the opposite? If Bryce Harper starts hitting And if Bryce Harper and Castellanos start hitting, everybody else will start hitting. So why can't it be the opposite way?
Listen, it can. And listen, Marshawn again yesterday, aggressive
Hey,
first
Pat,
pitch.
you want to plant the mic at your mouth?
Oh, hello.
Not your eyeballs.
Again,
Yeah.
Marshawn
I
yesterday.
figured he'd be used to that by now.
Yeah.
Marshawn yesterday again being aggressive. First pitch, hanging, sinker. He crushes it. But I get you. I mean, but to me,
this is great. Yo, he is too. If you look at definitely the way he's sounding, yeah. Dibe said if you're really panicking about the Phillies, then go work for Giglio or Elliott Shore.
If this trend
My
continues for
goodness.
the next 2 weeks and they're
Then
they're 500 and below over the next couple of weeks, okay, then we're worried. Then you can worry. I wouldn't even say panic, but you can start to worry.
I'm just.
I mean, listen, they got some good stiff.
Oh, what's up, Freddie?
competition.
Happy
Hey,
Father's
Freddie,
Day.
happy Father's Day to you. They got some good competition coming up. I mean, if you look at it, dude, like they got the Dodgers coming up. They got the Yanks. It's only mid-June,
here we
and
go.
Patrick is having a Debbie Downer moment about the Phillies. Relax, Grasshopper. Go give Mike. Give Mike a hug, probably, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
I know, it's radio.
I mean, I just don't understand that. You guys are just turning a blind eye.
It's not turning a blind eye, Pat. It's the ebb and flows of baseball. There's ups, there's downs.
You got to be prepared.
Like, you're not prepared. You're all, I love you to death, but you're like a confused squirrel. That's the best way I can put it. Exactly. Like, when they're doing good, when they're going good, you're, yeah. And then as soon as they go, oh, come on, man.
If it was 1 or 2 games, I would have said, okay, I would have looked the other cheek.
They've been back.
Pat, the thought process of this is that you just bought a new car. 4 weeks later, it didn't start right away, and you throw the car out. That is how you guys act. You don't try to see what the problem is. Try to analyze.
We need a new alternator. It's not working. It's listen. If this is the pit
you need
stop,
less spark plugs. That's what you need.
Well, yeah, that too. But, I mean, listen. The game's caught up. These guys have tape on these guys. They know they've got work this whole week from start. The whole bullpen, starting pitching and bullpen. They got work.
Hold on.
Well, listen.
Listen, I don't have to throw off so much. Matty's not here to defend himself, but Matty's got his sports hopes burned beyond recognition. Just wants to be in Boston so badly.
Oh, wow.
You're always going to be disappointed when demand 100% perfection for any professional team or anything in life. I mean, like, you're gonna. That's just
think how disappointed Monique is right about now.
Yeah.
Oh, I think she's happy I'm at the house.
Right now, you would be like, she would have been like through 7 husbands by now if she thought the way you did. I mean, Jesus.
I mean, I just understand. I mean, how does this not concern you guys?
Because they are still well above in the division
for now.
Yes, but why?
Oh my God! Buy a dog.
Hey, Pat,
buy a dog.
I'm going to break something to you.
Yeah,
Guy, I want everybody to just sit tight for a second. And I'm about to really break something open here for you.
Yes.
At one point in your life,
yes,
you're going to die.
Yes.
So you should stop living it right now. Just give up on it. Because that's the same thought process. Like,
no,
well, I'm going to die. I might as well just do it now. Just go. I mean, that's my point is there's going to be ups and downs in this game of baseball.
But I don't understand you guys. I mean, we've seen this with the football team. We've seen this with the hockey team. It's going to happen to this baseball team. That's why I'm worried. They might just bottom out from here. The pitching staff hasn't been that great.
Muffler Mike saying 3-game losing streak is a problem. The 1988 Orioles entered the chat. 21 losses to start the season.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it's not even a 3-game losing streak. Like right now, if you look at it from, let's see, they split in London, right?
Split in London.
So that's 1-1 right there. They lost 2 of the 3. All right, so that's
and they're 1-1 in this series.
Yeah, I mean,
was it Wednesday or Thursday? They got blown out like 9-3.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's not good.
That's baseball, man.
But you can't be playing.
Come on.
You can't only put up 3 runs against good teams.
I'll pull up the games from yesterday. Hold on 1 second.
Hold on.
I think Pittsburgh beat them like 15-3. Does that make them a good team or the other team
Colorado.
a bad team?
They're actually that NL Central is actually pretty decent.
Hold on, Pat. I'm gonna ask you a question.
Yeah.
Right now, by record, right? Yankees are the best team, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they lost 2 or 3 to the Dodgers last weekend.
Okay, Dodgers is a good team too.
Okay, but so are the Orioles. Like, this is what I'm trying to tell you.
Can I
The
ask
Orioles
you a
are a good
question?
team.
What was the record against the Braves last year?
Like
in the regular season?
Oh, we lost. We lost in the regular season. We lost every
big time.
Every dogfight.
Big time. How about the Mets in 2022?
We lost.
How did it work out? That is my question. Like, you can't.
We didn't win the World Series, Al.
Yeah, but we got a lot farther than those guys.
It doesn't matter if you don't win the whole thing. It doesn't matter.
The Braves were the best regular season baseball team in forever. In forever. And they got their first taste of the playoffs.
You had to fire them up. You had to fire the voice of God up on Father's Day. Thanks, Pat. Thanks.
That's my point is like, you got to let it play out before you start worrying and panicking. Like, again, if they go on like in the next 20 games, if they're like under 500 or way, or just not, or barely mediocre, you could panic a little bit.
Yeah,
but if they go 500 for the rest of the season,
they finish 100 wins.
Yes.
Yeah, but you're
playing 500. Think about it. Win one, lose one.
You guys just
rest of the season they get 100 wins.
You guys just brought up at the 22 Phillies. What happened to them versus that last year versus that Diamondbacks team? The Diamondbacks, discovered them and beat them up.
They got cold at the wrong time, that's when you panic.
They're getting cold now.
But it's in the wrong time. It's freaking June. It's June 15th.
Yeah, but the things can turn around.
You still got 2 weeks left in the month of June. You still got all of July, all of August, all of September.
And what if we're out of it by then? You don't know that the pitching is.
If you can't handle baseball, get out. That's what it is.
I saw a scared team. They look scared against higher competition. That's all.
They look scared Friday night.
All right, real
when
quick.
they came back and won.
Real quick.
Hold on,
real quick.
Pay some bills.
I gotta. Somebody need to call him. David Archerry's a man with a plan. Workers' comp, motor vehicle, personal injury, criminal law, cherryinjurylaw.com. Call David Archerry at 610-565-0300. Go, like I said, cherryinjurylaw.com. Workers' comp, motor vehicle, personal injury, criminal laws. All moments of your life, all big-time moments that you need the man who can help you without. Go to cherryinjurylaw.com or 610-565-0300. And guys, real quick before we get on here, next Sunday, which a couple of us at least will be in house for, Philly Press Box Radio will be having their 500th episode. That's right, 500 episodes of Chet and Bill, and oh my God. No, I'm just kidding. That's an amazing feat. And they're going to be live on location for it. Starting at 1:30. I believe the broadcast goes off at 2, but it's Irish Rover Station House. And it's at 1033 South Bellevue Avenue, Langhorne. And yes, the guys you see on the screen will be there. Joe Watson, Jim Jackson, Lou Nolan. Joe Watson, if you didn't know, he's part of that 2-time Cup champions because it is also the 50th anniversary of that Cup, the first Cup. Jim Jackson, the play-by-play, and as well as Lou Nolan, the in-house arena guy, has been there for probably just as long as they've been doing. They won the Cup.
He's been there since I think he was the original.
Was he original?
Yeah.
But, come on out, meet these guys, get to hear them, and also congrats to Phil for Chet and Bill.
Chet and Bill. Oh
you guys, we got so many people now. Their names start rhyming.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So, I'm going to hit some of these comments, and we'll get back to me screaming at Pat.
Can I say one thing? Yeah. I compare Bill and Chet as the Statler and Waldorf of EOP.
Oh yeah,
they are the Statler and Waldorf of EOP.
So Steve's saying, let me give you some good. Good news. How much has Kirk grown up? That was not a
wild pitch.
A wild pitch. It's cross up. Those were big ball strikes. Threes on Friday. Yeah. Well, here's my thing is, again, you have Kirk Green who's learning, who's still, and he had JT behind her. Now he had to deal with Mark. I mean, those things are going to happen. You have to try to minimize those moments, but it doesn't make the team bad. It means they had a bad moment, a bad time, and a bad situation. That's what that means. And they were still able to come back. Philadelphia fans panicking, Marshawn. It's
Marshawn.
When are we talking to recruiting point guards on live TV?
Poop. I said that. Poop. We talked about that.
Poop.
We are going to be touching on that soon. Reel in the gobbler. He's spiraling, Big Al. I think I'm spiraling. What's up, fellas? Hey, Rob, what's going on? Vegas Rob's in the house.
What's up, Rob? Good morning.
I see Pat's all gloom and doom again. He's hung like a light switch and he acts like one, too. Phillies pitching staff hasn't been great. No, I mean, it hasn't. It has.
No, he's quoting Pat. He's quoting Pat.
Both sides.
They've been great. They just had a bad moment. Thank you.
It's just been a bad week. That's all.
Even Cy Young award-winning pitchers will have a bad game. If this is going to happen when we're all equipped to handle this, Pat's in the worst PTSD than a Vietnam vet. I mean, oh my God.
Oh, Marshawn.
The Phillies will be fine, but Dombrowski has to figure out if he has to make trades for a catcher or a legit closer.
Yeah, the one name I keep hearing is the
Thank
kid.
you, Kaepernick.
The one give him a Snickers. He's not him when he's hungry.
Oh,
Pat don't need a Snicker, Marshawn. He needs a box of Snickers.
He's always hungry. So, like, what are you just supposed to be shoving Snickers in his mouth?
Suck your thumb. But
what's wrong with you guys checking in today? Come on.
Matty is still pissed off at Rick Dempsey, Stormy Davis,
Jesus.
and Mike Boddicker. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I mean, the listeners today. I mean,
Walker is strong yesterday, and the offense goes to the toilet. Pitching stinks. Yeah, see, you are you're taken to the woodshed, and I'm glad.
Yeah,
it's all right.
I mean, Walker finally gave you at least the first 4 innings were really good.
No, I'm telling you, he kept
How
them
about
in the game
Kimbrel
yesterday. What about him?
Just look at. Oh,
you don't think
he's got his cherries? That's because I read the cherry. They love their cherry reads.
Yes.
The reality is the NL East race is over. The Phillies should go on a cruise mode and rest guys because the division is wrapped up. I don't want to. I'm not going to
say it's wrapped up because there's way too much baseball.
And the Braves have a lot of talent on there. They could definitely right the ship, and the trade deadline could help them. So.
I wonder what they're going to write off to get to upgrade.
Yes,
team.
Emotional stress is workers' comp too, Marshawn. I heard the break it. Pat and Maddie must hang out, rehearse everything before they do these shows.
I think they do.
Oh my gosh! The poor guy's not even
Pat
here.
is over here panic attack about June baseball. You think that's bad? Wait till football season starts.
Give the gobbler a brown bag. He's either used it or breathed it or wears it on his head.
You are getting taken to the woodshed, and I love it. I want keep taking him to the woodshed, guys.
Is DRC really getting his money's worth when Big L is pissed? Yeah, ever just got glossed over in a bad mood. Blame the gobbler.
I gotta rack up all these comments. I'm telling you guys, I just don't know how everyone just walks around like it's all sunshine.
Take a pill. Matty B is trying to pull Pat into the school of Eskin and making outlandish mistakes.
No, this is great.
No, it's what
Pat, are you a Brewers fan?
No.
Did you get a Brewers jersey? We'll talk about that in a minute.
What are you guys talking about over there? No, I'm just telling you. Listen, I get this is not everyone's favorite jersey. Maybe this jersey is just
Pat likes to stress eat Phillies games, and a box of Snickers is a bad combination for the gobbler. David Archerry knows all about closing arguments, and the Phils ain't got one.
Wow. I mean, listen, they're falling apart at the wrong time.
Oh, here goes. Season's over. Phillies are 2-3 in the last 5 games. The sky is falling. Pat being the definition of a negadelphia.
That's not. It's what my eyeballs are telling me. It's Matty B. Like, we see the same thing. What's wrong with our pupils?
Remind me never to use your optometrist, my friend, because I mean,
you and him both.
You guys, listen. Here's my thing:
it's been horrible this week. That's what we're just calling out. If they play good next week, we'll
Pat,
after an extended layoff. Like, come on, Pat.
That's an excuse, Mike.
It's not an excuse.
Now you're in his canoe.
Hey, Pat, do me a favor.
What?
Hold up your notes, like the paper, so people can see it on the screen. Right? Yes. Here's his notes. Right? It's not on construction paper, so congrats.
Yeah, he finally got white paper to write it down
on.
His kids started yelling at him, Dad, stop using our paper.
Dad, we ran out of arts and crafts. I couldn't because you keep taking our paper. No, but like, let me ask you a question. Yes. Hold it up and look like how you would read the paper, right? Like that's how far you would keep it away from your head, right?
Yes.
Right? Now put it right up against your face. Because that's how you're reading the Phillies right now.
What?
Like you have that so close to your face.
No.
That's what you're seeing because you're seeing like the last 5 games. You haven't seen the whole thing so far. Yes, this team is far from perfect.
Pat, you can take it away from your face now.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, we had more viewers come in. My point is, that is how you're going to have problems in baseball. You're going to have ups and downs. Either get off the train.
Weren't we just talking about this 2 weeks ago?
But we're here.
Hold on. No, because you are flip-flopping like a fish out of water. And I got to call you the carpet because we talked about this a couple weeks ago, Pat. When the last time we were all in studio, I said, I posed the question. I said, what happens if they go on? And I do remember specifically you turning around and going, it's not going to be that bad as long as they can contain it. Where if
I never use a big word like that.
Well, you said as long as it doesn't go long. I think Al stepped in and said contain it.
Yes.
But this is all it is. So think about it. They go out today. They win today. You're basically looking at
if they win.
But They have a good chance, dude. They got Wheeler going on the mound.
And they got Corbin
Both
Burns.
teams have a really good chance.
Yeah,
that's what a good matchup is, meaning that there's
so that's going to be two consecutive series they lose.
Listen, if they were playing the Marlins,
can they lose it first before you go on and say that they're gonna?
You just said they're going to win. I'm just saying the reality is they can lose.
Yes, I believe that Wheeler is a better pitcher than Burns, and I believe Wheeler can shut down that lineup.
Okay. But the whole lineup on our team is ice cold. They're averaging 2 to 3 runs. That's not going to do you any good against that team.
Yes, I get it at this time. But guess what? They also are going up against good pitching in the Phillies. So whoever gets the third run versus the 2 run, you're going to have 2 to 3 run games that come down to it when you have 2 really good players.
But what if Wheeler has a bad day?
Then we're screwed. What can I tell you?
I'm telling you the whole.
That means we lost today's game.
Okay.
And we're going to fold up the rest of the season.
Hold on. So even if they do, going back from a week, right? Even if they lose this series, right? So it'd be 2 series in a row that they lost. That only puts them 1 game under. You know that, right? I mean, really. They win today, they're going to have a 500 series. They're going to have 500 since last weekend.
Al, can you punch up their schedule real fast?
Hold on 1 second. I want to hit a couple of these, and then we'll do that.
Sure.
Trey Turner back today. I knew they were making a decision, but nothing has been announced. I don't think he comes back today, honestly. I think it'll be I think tomorrow or sometime this week coming up will be
they
Trey's
come home,
return.
Right?
Yeah, because I'll
That's
stay put because I'll be in the press box tomorrow.
Nice.
So I'll have plenty of stuff going on. Falling apart at the long time. Pat would be about spiraling. Are they 0-5, Pat? What Mikey mistext you about to be controversial on purpose today? Oh man! Speaking of choking, how about the Woodard Dogs?
Yeah, I'm telling you, 0-2. They might have to start.
Tony Taters owns the Phillies.
Brian Plumper.
All right, Brian. Thanks for checking in.
I guess it worked though. Patty. Oh my God.
Myopic.
I know. Some of these things are good. Laugh out loud. Wooder and choke in the same sentence. HR warned about making inappropriate jokes.
Oh, they were welcome here, pal.
If we had HR, Pat would be gone. Where did you get the name the Gobbler?
Oh,
Blue Oyster every Saturday night.
Pat doesn't need Dave Archerry. He needs trauma therapist. Dude's issues clearly run deep.
Here we go. Everyone's just walking around on clouds here on sunshine and rainbows.
He's like Pac-Man.
Yeah, that's true.
Pat would complain about a parade talking about the Phillies looked bad in June in Baltimore. He'd be talking at the parade. I'm sorry. Yeah, he would be in the World Series parade talking about how bad they were in June. K1, you lobbed out like a prime CP3. That's funny. Harper and Cassie have some of the most dumbest at-bats.
I agree.
They do.
Lately, yeah.
Especially Castellanos.
I mean, Cassidy pretty much the whole season for the most part.
Cassidy's been, I don't know.
And to Matt's point, the crybaby, if he, again, I call him get a little mouthy. Was it Saturday? Or no, Friday? He got a little mouthy with the home ump. Harper, he does get a little mouthy if, with some of his calls. I mean,
Castellanos was like, told a dude to get his effing stuff together and respect him because he's been in the league for 10 or 12 years.
What does that mean?
But nobody got on his ass about it.
Yeah, nobody said nothing about it. Cassidy literally looked at the dude and said, yo, you better respect me or something.
Well, and Schwarber said something too yesterday. I mean, listen, the guy makes a call.
Listen, though, that umpire Friday night, even though the Phillies won that game, he was bad. He was bad. Like, he was calling stuff like I called it the old Greg Maddox strike zone. That's what that dude was getting.
Yeah.
You're a Braves fan. You know.
I'm not a Braves fan. Just because of the jersey. I just went to the Corral factory. That's all. Oh man. So, but yeah, I mean, you guys are just. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe
if we got him flustered, he can't know if he's coming, going, or been there.
I mean, the fans there are checking into the program.
All right, here's what Castellanos said, but not one person got all butthurt about it. Ready? Out of respect for somebody who's been in the league for over 10 years, you got to bleeping speak up, brother. He got mad because he didn't say it loud enough. And the guy sat there and took it. Maybe he thought he knew he was wrong. Maybe he knew he was wrong, but I still don't think he should have said that to him like that.
No.
He'd be like, listen, man, I can't hear you. And if I can't hear, I can't do my job. And you can't do your job. So let's get this together. Like you can be stern about it,
Yeah.
but to say I've been in the league for 10 years, what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, right. I mean, come on. But I mean, those guys better.
I don't know, man. I'm not liking the way Casty's been this year.
Well,
I
I
wonder
mean-
if he's a trade candidate. You got to figure he's got what 2 years left on this
Who's
deal.
going to take
Yeah,
it?
but
Who's gonna
Dude,
take
somebody will take him.
Yeah,
Come
but
on.
we always talk about Cassie getting out there. I don't see him. I see.
Listen, you don't know how Dombrowski moves, man.
Muffler Mike wants to know when the pizza
Dude,
challenge.
I'm ready for this.
Yeah, we're waiting on Phil.
Yeah.
Like I'm actually available.
Don't enable the gobbler by commenting how bad the bats have been. Harp is not friends with the left-handed slider right now. The best adjust back, give it time. Yeah, I mean that's true. Like that's guys, even guys have really good years. Pitchers, batters, doesn't matter. They're gonna have bad moments. You could, if you really want. That's what with baseball stats, I get a little upset at times because like you gotta take a whole. You gotta look at the whole picture. How many times you hear like, maybe you didn't know this, but he's like 16 for the last 15 at bats. Like you'll hear things like that. But the other times he's 20. He's 0 for the last 23. So like you can do that, but if you look it back in a whole, this team is playing very well. You could not. If again, I go back to the Flyers statement, and I know you didn't like this one, Pat. But if I came to you before the season started and said by June 16th they're going to be one of the top teams in Major League Baseball, top in the division, and one of the best pitching staffs, and up until right now they were one of the best offensive outputs. You'd be sign me up.
Yes.
And right now you're ready to burn it the hell down.
Yeah, you know,
No, I'm just saying. Like,
you know what's really funny?
What?
Pat's over here yapping. The Phillies were, 12? What was it?
Appreciate it, Phil. Thank you,
Phil.
sir.
Only 12 people are watching?
On
Wow.
YouTube, on our YouTube page.
But
Right now we have 64 total paying attention if you really want to.
that's cool. That's Pat's fault. But no, the
It
Phillies
was
were averaging,
164 before he took the papers away from his face.
I know. The Phillies were averaging
like a dog, you urinate on.
5.7 runs a game. They were averaging almost 6 runs a game. Over this last stretch, you know what the runs per game now is? It's dropped down 3. So now they're down to 5.4 runs a game averaging. So with all this being said,
Okay, and they listen.
still one
I
of the
hope.
top
Listen,
offensive teams.
everyone thinks I'm not a Phillies fan. Let's get it right. I am. I'm just telling you. With me and Matty B, I don't know what
Again, that's your problem. You and Matty B.
And I feel bad because the guy's not here, and he's not here to defend himself. He's out, doing his thing.
That's all right. He calls us out.
Here, I'll do it for you. I'll do
Yes.
Barry B. You're all clowns and idiots, and you don't know baseball. There you go. You happy? I just defended.
Yeah, I feel like he's here.
I feel
I
like
will
Matty
say
B.
Yeah, I
this.
feel like his presence.
Now, the one thing I do agree on, was it Friday, Al? We have that NHL draft coming up.
This
I believe
Friday.
This Friday.
Is
I
it this
believe.
Friday?
I think
Yeah,
so.
damn.
So that I will be interested to see because I know Matty. I will agree there. Matty does know what he's talking about when it comes to hockey. We may differ
Listen, funny
when it
thing
comes
is,
to baseball.
all the
but
jokes aside, Matty B knows his stuff. But
Yes,
Matty B does.
and he's got a great IQ for baseball.
He does, and he knows his stuff. But
you
at
need
the,
to borrow some.
but at the same time, I'm not going to crucify people for analyzing that. Yes, this team's a little off, and right now, being all those pieces put together, I mentioned earlier, make a difference. It's not an excuse. It's facts.
See,
Analytics.
I'm so jealous. Rob gets a 10:30.
Yeah, guys, give Rob Hefner, Vegas Rob, a round of applause. He's 3 hours behind it. Right now
it's
it
what?
is quarter
Anyone
to
is
7
wake
in the
up to
morning.
watch.
Yeah, it's 6:45 in the morning, which means he got up at 6:00 in the morning to watch us.
In his underwear.
Brian Pumper saying Embiid is flirting on national TV again. Say goodbye to our first rounder next year.
All right, so yeah, let's shift gears because I see a lot of people want to start talking.
Hold on, why Cassie batting second, not Stott? Adam, that is a
Really good question.
point. I said that yesterday. I said it before. I even tweeted out when they first put him in there right after JT went down. I said, not Stott in the 2-hole. That's kind of odd to me.
Yeah, it is. It's a little weird. So
I mean, Stott also has been batting well as well. I mean, he just yesterday broke a
0-for-12 streak or
no,
something.
I think it was like 20.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
close.
Yeah, it was close. But real quick before we jump on there, I want to hit a couple more of these comments.
yes,
Let's talk Paul George. Yes, we'll talk about that. Get Pat to relax, but the cost of Mike walking off. EOP needs a live stream the pizza challenge. Yeah,
Oh, most definitely. Me and Pat are going to tackle
I'm going to
that.
swallow that thing whole.
Yeah, but guess what? If Pat fails, if Pat fails at the pizza challenge, we're going to shoot him.
No, what?
Because that's how he feels about things.
No.
He's
See, I had a pizza challenge. I already had a hoagie challenge a couple weeks ago against a coworker of mine.
That's what the Blue Oyster calls it, but it doesn't make it a hoagie.
My man, Joe Picard, another sore loser walking around my job, said he beat me. No, he cheated.
No, there's another guy that's a sore loser.
Yeah, he is a sore loser.
Pat,
I got no words.
Does Pat the Cowboys too?
No.
He's a Niners fan.
What's up?
He's a Niners fan.
What's up, Mitch?
Mitchy Poo. The Mitchy Poos are coming. The
Mitchy
analytics
Poo.
crowd has gotten in Cassie's ear about his first pitch splits. He needs to keep it all in context. He's at the spot where he's either another cold streak, or just another cold streak, or he's getting old.
Both.
I'm hoping it's just a cold streak, but it's been a while. Anyone else call the Panthers winning the cup?
I said Dallas at first, but
the Rangers. Yeah,
man, they're playing. Man,
listen, they got smoked last night.
They got smoked.
8-1 last night, but to me, you know what that was? That was, boys.
Let's take it.
We're going back to South Florida, and then just like with Dallas getting a win the other Friday night.
Yeah.
All that was is for Boston to go back home and win the championship.
Take care of business.
Yeah. So, hey, yo, Pat, you need to relax. Pat would fold under questioning. Yeah, he would.
Like
don't ever rob a bank with him, dude.
Pat
They would be at your house 30 seconds later.
Pat folds like Japanese paper art. This man is.
Yes.
Pat made a hoagie disappear in his mouth. Pause.
And it was a 2-footer.
And loaded with meat. But
all right, real quick. I don't know what sponsors want to go after that one, but
yes,
guys, you guys got to go to Sherry'sTickets.com. The Phillies are heading back to town. It's concert season. All these great stuff, sports, concert theaters, you name it. They got. I don't care. Maybe you guys, Vegas Rob, you could use Sherry'sTickets.com for all the local stuff that you want to go to. Not just for Philadelphia. It's all over the country. Go to Sherry'sTickets.com. Family owned and operated since 1946.
So wait a minute. If I go to Vegas, I can use Sherry'sTickets.com.
You can use it for any tickets in the continental United States, as far as I know. It could be further, but as far as I know, it's continental.
Beautiful.
Bonjour.
You can get playoff tickets for wherever game team's playing. You can get it. Go to Sherry'sTickets.com. Sports, concert theaters, you name it, they got it. No hidden fees. So you're not going to get bamboozled at checkout. You're not going to be like, oh, all right, well, these prices are doable for me. Oh, by the way, there's an additional $200-$300 to pay at the checkout. No, that's not going to happen. Already great prices. And you're going to save an additional 10% off by using that great promo code.
EOP10.
That's right. EOP10 will save you 10% off at Sherry'sTickets.com. Sports, concerts, theater, you name it. Great prices, no hidden fees. Promo code
EOP10.
EOP10 will save you 10% off at Sherry'sTickets.com. All right, guys. So you asked for it. We're gonna jump in a little Sixers talk.
Yes. Well, let's get involved here. Let's do some things. Because I get it. The world again. Joel Embiid showing his face and hanging with Paul George, and I automatically think there's a connection. Does anybody really want Paul George at this stage of his career?
I don't.
I'm out. I don't want it. I want a fresh new face in here. Matter of fact,
well, Pat, I hate to break it to you, but there's gonna be a lot of fresh new faces no matter who comes in.
Right, but I'm just saying. But
because ain't like half of the
but
team.
Like I
most
saw
of the team gone.
Yeah, but I'm seeing like a lot of people getting excited. Oh, Paul George. Paul George is. I'm not even kicking the tires.
The only way I want Paul George or any of the three older guys is if they can somehow get him with a bunch of younger guys to support them. Yeah. That would be the only way I would want it. But they wouldn't be able to afford that because you're going to offer the guy a max contract.
I don't want it. I don't want him. I'm sorry. PG
Paul George is a good basketball fit.
Yes. ...
in 2018.
Right. I mean, what really does he have left in the tank?
It's not even about having left in the tank. He might have enough left in the tank if you do it right and all that stuff. My point is, you're going to sell the house for him, and then you're not. What else are you going to put around him? Because we've seen this song and dance before. This is where you should panic, Pat. You're allowed to put on your panic pants right now.
They're on. The panties are on.
Yeah, because thank God.
Did you just? No.
Yeah, just let it go. Let it
Just
slide.
let it roll.
Let it slide. That's
Wow.
what I know. But if they do the same thing again, we've already seen it happen. James Harden, it happened. They brought one of the best point guards in, one of the best players in basketball. He was a little older, but he still got plenty left in the tank. Problem. Didn't work out. Fell apart.
I got one name. The only guy I want here is
I just
ahead, Bet.
look. I never agree with Mike. I never. Yes, I never agree with Mike. But in this case, I don't care who they bring in. You have a center who can't stay healthy for 82 games, whatever it is. He can't stay healthy. He just can't. Your window is only as good for this playoffs, and that's it.
I got called nuts
Hold
2
on.
years ago for wanting to trade the dude, but
Listen,
I still don't want to trade him
Boston doesn't have Joel Embiid on their team, and how does it pound out for them for the past couple of years?
because Boston has a lot of great players around them.
And the supporting cast.
It's a supporting
This
cast.
team, this
If
front
I-
office
if-
does not know
If
how
you
to build.
take 3 guys off the court and put 3 more guys on, they're still a really good team. You can't say that about the Sixers.
well, then
No.
I think that goes back to Morey. Then that's who you got to look at.
That's why I'm more nervous about this offseason.
Morey's got to be the guy that's got to get held responsible for this.
There's
sorry.
a guy that'll die on the hill is Daryl Morey.
The only guy I want the Sixers to go out and get is Donovan Mitchell. If you can get Donovan Mitchell to get him to come here, you do 2 things. You get him, 1, you get him on your team. 2, he doesn't go to the Knicks. Because he's been
Not a huge Donovan Mitchell fan.
You may not be, but I think he would coexist better with Embiid and Maxey than bringing in a guy like Paul George. I'm sorry, the Jimmy Butler thing sounds cool. I like Jimmy Butler, but it's 5 years too long. You should have did it 5 years ago. You know, you can't make it right now and bringing him back 5 years later when the dude's body's breaking down.
Brian saying Embiid needs to take a back seat. It's Maxey's team now. Do you know what they really need to do? You know what? No. He's not wrong, but he's not. I partially agree with the statement. What the Sixers need to do is build a team to make it seem like it's still Embiid's team, because what happens is, how do you beat the Sixers? You get in Embiid's head, you get on top of Embiid, you shut him down, and then the rest of the team panics, and there's nobody to come in and take care of him. You need to put the right supporting staff, because he can be a good player. He is. I mean, he is a very good player. It's just that you need things around. You can't make him the mainstay. That's
the problem, though, with going against Brian's word here is, I hear you about Maxey and building around Maxey, but that's the problem. When NP was off the floor, and I get it, the 2 serviceable backups are coming in were Mo Bamba and B-Ball Paul, which means diddly squat. All the defense had to really do is focus on Maxey, and then they had no answer after that. It's just Maxey is good. It's just as good as with Embiid on the floor. When Embiid is on the floor, he is a superstar. When Embiid is not on the floor, he isn't. He only has 2 shots. He takes it to the rim, and he has a pullback 3-pointer. After that, once they discover him and lock him down, putting 2 defenders on, he has nothing in the wheelhouse.
Like I said, for me,
and they don't have a perimeter shooter. They didn't have it this year.
Listen, for me, honestly, if you're going to try to do it, the two guys I would try to get here. One, I think Donovan Mitchell is a free agent this year, so I would try to get Donovan Mitchell. But if you're going to have to make a trade, okay, go get Mikal Bridges. Unwrite that. You want to unwrite a wrong? That's the one wrong you need to unwrite. Go get Mikal Bridges, bring him back.
It'll probably cost them way too much. I mean, unfortunately, I agree with you.
I mean, listen, what do they got? They got draft picks.
If
right?
they would take the 16th draft pick plus whatever, within reason, I would do it in a heartbeat. I do it in a heartbeat. But I don't think.
Yeah,
the
I
Nets,
agree.
I don't think
I
the
agree
Nets,
with Dives here.
I don't think the Nets are gonna. They're probably gonna make them. They're probably so pissed off. They probably wouldn't make that trade if somebody else. I mean, the Sixers have to. I would love, Mike. That would make me the happiest boy in the world if they could undo that wrong. That'd be the one wrong they could undo. I mean, the Jimmy Butler wrong.
Jimmy Butler one's too. It's too late.
Yeah. Dive saying Paul George isn't in my top 3 fixes for the Sixers.
I don't want him at all.
It's not even just the contract's going to be brutal. Like, why can't we get really good supporting staff around Maxey and B? And here's the other thing: is say that doesn't work out. We find out, okay, and B just can't get you over the hump to win a championship. You can still trade him next year. You're not get as much as you get this year, and still have a lot of pieces around him. If you put Paul George or anybody around, you're going to be stuck with that contract for a few years, and then you're going to be bottom dwellers, and then you're going to be really screwed, no matter how much you get for Joel Embiid.
I mean, look at him, right? He came back off the hurt knee. Again, he did fine for a couple games, but when it came playoff time, when it's just you and playoff opponents, you saw a Knicks team that had no fear going after him. They went right at him in the paint, and they crushed him for it. I mean, again, you had a Joel Embiid had a what 63% leg. I mean, come on. And what did you really thought he was going to do?
Listen, I've been saying this. I've been alone on this island. I've had.
Thank you. Someone call me. Pat is cooking. Thank you, Brian.
I don't know why. Well, he's cooking with my.
Yeah,
statement.
I think he thinks Mike.
What?
I think
Yeah.
he thinks.
Come on,
these are my takes, though.
Mike's the one in the hat.
It's your take. I've been saying for 2 years.
You don't have a good reason why. I'm giving a good reason why.
I don't have a good reason.
No,
Pat.
you just want to try him just for a hot take. I'm telling you, give me a legit reason.
Oh, so I haven't said for the past 2 years that the dude gets hurt all the time.
Well, that's Stevie Wonder can see that.
Okay, I'm the one that said that he's not. He doesn't live up to his playoff. I mean, you can go back and watch these past shows and see who said what. I'm not going to sit here and argue with Pat about it.
Just because Brian might be near the show. Mike's the one in the hat. Pat's the one in the stupid blue jersey.
Yes. No, he probably knows who we are, but I'm just saying, I've been saying for 2 years now to get rid of, and guess what? The longer we hold on to Embiid, the less you're going to get because his play is going down. Yes, I will say this, though. This past season, I don't hold Embiid accountable for them not doing well in the playoffs. This year, it was his supporting staff. His supporting staff quit on him. So, yes, I will give him a pass for this year. No. Leading up to this year, oh, yeah, you can blame Embiid because he's supposed to be the most dominant player, the most generational player.
He is, though.
Oh, stop. He's the Dak Prescott of the NBA.
Who came up with that one?
What's that?
Who came up with that one?
You did.
Thank you.
I give you your credit.
Marshawn saying Elton Brand is more Teflon than John Gotti. Elton Brand. The only reason Elton Brand doesn't get in trouble is because everybody knows he does nothing. He's useless. No offense, but he is. He is a figurehead. He's the Queen of England. Like he does no power. There's no power. He doesn't. I mean, he makes signings and all that stuff, but you know it's going to be Daryl Morey's making all these final decisions. Just like Dave Dombrowski, he is the baseball operations guy.
Yeah, Sam Paul's the general manager.
Yeah, he's not the GM.
But he's going to be the guy that catches all the heat. You know what I'm saying?
Fire Morey, bring in Bob Myers. Ugh, can't speak today. Did the 2015 Sixers really deal away 2 future NBA Finals MVPs? Did the Flyers really trade a Conn Smythe and a double Benza
Yes,
goalie?
they did. The Flyers did trade Bob Brodsky for the last time, guys. Bob Brodsky did not want to be here. He forced his way out of here. Flyers didn't want to get rid of him. I'm tired of hearing that narrative about Bob. Oh, Bob this, Bob that. Bob wanted out. Bob didn't want to be here. So the Flyers did him a solid. So,
and that's what scares me though about the Sixers. Like the point is this organization. That was before Daryl Morey. You know what I mean? This organization they don't know. They just keep guys that are here. They look mediocre. They go somewhere else and
they win championships. It happens all the time in sports.
They just won championships, but these are guys that we thought were just pieces who won MVPs.
Dude, it's the Philly curse.
Look at the Oilers head coach right now, Chris Kalmbach. You know, he was David Haxtell's assistant here. Dave Haxtell.
Well, listen, dude. When you look into Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, that's going to happen.
Yeah, right. You're right. Mike. I'll give you that. Yeah, their offense is already built to win, but they again, listen. They looked good last night. But I think it's like you said.
Florida just put that off one extra game. They're going to do it.
They're going to party in South Beach hard.
Miss Jamie Lara wants to know: do you think if it would be better if the Sixers start from scratch? Like, are you saying Mike, in your heart of hearts, do you think the Sixers would be better off scrapping everything and building from scratch? Maybe leaving Maxey as the only piece left.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. And you know what? And I would sign off on that. Problem is, a lot of Sixer fans, and even some that are on this network, love the fact that they get into the postseason every year. But if you're not showing no progress, moving past, then you got to rebuild. Or at least try to do something to
They're actually technically rebuilding almost
now,
as close as you can to a rebuild without a rebuild.
And listen, Jamie's right. It should be Jenga and leave with one piece and start all over again. And that's what all it is. And that's what it comes down to the Sixers. They need to rebuild, but they're not going to do that because they're going to show you if they do that, the whole process for 4 or 5 years was a legit waste of time.
Listen,
and now we're past that.
The process thing, and that's another thing you got to get past too. Hinkie had a pretty good idea.
He did.
Like if you look at it, it wasn't bad. The problem is
the pieces
like,
you got.
well, no, it wasn't that. Like, there was no end game to the process. If you sit back and look at what Hinkie's design was for the process, it was always to keep losing and gathering and gathering and gathering and gathering. But there was never no end to the process.
Well, that and you wanted again. You had at the time we thought Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid were going to be two generational pieces, and they were really good talent. But in that time, look at the NBA then. Everybody came running. It was a superstar-driven league. Superstars went to tag team up with superstars. No one really came knocking on the Sixers' door other than Butler wanting to be here. No one. I mean, they really didn't.
Well, Butler got traded here, so how do you even know he even really wanted to be here? But if you look back at that time, Pat, coming through, where the Sixers went wrong is they took a big man every year for 3 years. They didn't need to take Nolan Snowell, Joel Embiid, and who's the other one that got caught driving 105 over to Ben Franklin?
Was it Bynum?
No,
I
it was
can't.
Andrew. It was Nolan Snowell, then Joel Embiid, and who was the kid?
Okafor.
Like, they took 3 bigs in a row, man. Like, and the thing about it is, by the time, and the one thing that really kind of messed them up is they had a chance to take Jason Tatum and they didn't do it. They took Markelle Fultz.
And listen, that's
I don't think they were getting Jason Tatum.
No, that to me is always going to be the dagger that stabs the Sixers in the heart. Is again, and listen,
I don't think they would have traded with him if they knew they were taking Tatum.
That's why you pull the ultimate swerve. I'd have been like, oh yeah, we're taking this guy. Get up there, Jason Tatum.
Yeah, listen.
I'd have pulled the swerve.
Danny Ainge led the Sixers.
Them.
Yeah, he let them rush that bear trap. Here, have him.
Listen, if I'm the Sixers, like, literally, they get in a fetal position, dude, when they see a Boston area code calling up for the draft. They get in a fetal position, start sucking their thumbs.
Danny Ainge said, here goes this bear trap. Go ahead, walk right over there, buddy. Wham.
Guys, I remind you that this is brought to you by PhillySportsTrips.com. They said all your Eagles away games, including the Brazil trip. You got to go to Philly Sports Trips. They were just in Baltimore yesterday. A great bus trip down there. Great price, great time. You have to go down. You guys can't wait either. You keep waiting, you're going to miss out on these great opportunities. I know Chicago already
sold out.
Boston was sold out before it was.
I think Pittsburgh's the next big one after
Pittsburgh is the next big one, which you might see a certain Big Al there. July 19th to the 22nd.
It's the anniversary. Maybe the wife might want to go.
There you go.
Take her out to Steel City, give her a hot dog for her anniversary.
Why? Oh, God. Pat's face when you said that was ridiculous. Go to PhillySportsTrips.com. Tell them that EOP sent you. And there's amazing trips. There's even ones for home games. They have the Italian Heritage Night coming up. They have a trip to Miami for the Union. You name it, they got it. All your major Philly sports and more. So go to PhillySportsTrips.com.
All right, guys.
Real quick, I want to hit a couple because we're getting a little behind here.
Sorry, getting behind.
Let's see. Mike saying, I like Donovan Mitchell, but he's always hurt in the playoffs like Embiid. Adam saying, what players on the board that you guys like other than Paul George or LeBron?
I mean, that's
Donovan Mitchell, Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, I mean, the hard part is the free agency class is kind of thin this year. So if you want to get anybody who's really you're going to turn heads.
Interesting to see who the Sixers draft them.
I do not want Paul.
It's interesting to see if they draft.
Well, here's the thing too. Like, right around in that area, they got the pick right before the Lakers, so they're talking. Heard it on the national radio. Really,
if Baby Bron gets drafted, this city will erupt in ridiculous.
I hope not. I mean, I don't think he's anything special. Did not realize that Harden made Paul Reed look like a valuable backup. We were bamboozled.
Yes, we were, Brian. Yes, we were. Oh, another one.
Once Maxey becomes a way better passer, that's the one thing that could change his individual game. I'm not ready for any of these I'm not trading any of my draft assets. I'm looking to sign free agents, draft, or offload Embiid to the Western Conference. Unfortunately,
you're going to get the bang for your buck no matter what team comes knocking on the door.
The free agency pool is not that great, and you're not going to get a big name. You're not going to be able to get anything like that. So drafting or trading is probably going to be a must.
I got a question for you. Would you guys offload? Would you do a mega deal? Like, I'm talking like trade Embiid to Phoenix for Kevin Durant.
No,
you wouldn't do that?
No,
I would trade
What has
him.
Kevin Durant done for me?
No, I'm not.
Kevin Durant would be hell.
Would he?
Yeah.
No, I'm not a big fan of that. Not a fan. I mean, I just don't want these 100-year-old players anymore.
Yes.
I don't want them anymore. I just don't want to deal with them anymore. Sixers talk killing your algo boys. Time to talk Eagles stat. Thanks, K1.
Yeah. So
Mike, you need a bigger coffee today. Yeah.
yes,
Well, he needs to Irish up his coffee the way it was
Tim
going.
Perry, Hornacek, and Andrew Lang ain't helping the Sixers team. Wow, he brought up the Barkley trade.
Yeah. Elton Brand must make the best coffee in the morning, respectfully. Oh yeah,
That's
I
the
mean
line.
that's true. I'm calling OKC like yesterday. Give me Chet plus picks for Joel.
yeah, right. And that's another team loaded with young talent. Is
And
that
Chet and picks would get it
that
done
and
for me
Orlando
too.
have nothing but young upcoming talent.
OKC actually won a ton of future Sixers picks. Got to get them back. So you're just trading Embiid back for what we already have. Josh Harris needs to sell the team. Also, he does not care about the Sixers. He's also focused on the Washington Commanders and their new stadium.
Don't forget, he also owns the Jersey Devils too. So.
I think he does care.
Maxey and a supporting cast is what we saw this past season in a play-in team.
Yeah.
Believe OKC will do that deal because they are closer to a championship in a loaded West.
Are you sure about that, Brian? Are you sure they want to bring in somebody who can only get them, again, a good couple games?
I think a lot of teams think that if you have a good, well-built team, you think just adding, because that's the problem. We have Embiid, but not a good, well-built team.
To Mike's point, you're going to bring in Joel Embiid by playoff time. That dude's nowhere around, or he's too cooked by trying to help everyone.
But again, if you have a well-built team where you're not the focus all the time, Embiid is more powerful to you. That's just true facts. I mean, he is. If you don't, the problem is if you shut Embiid down on the Sixers team, what do you have?
Nothing.
Maxey.
I mean, nothing against Maxey, but that's all you have.
No.
So
yeah,
if you shut Maxey down, what do you have?
Nothing.
You have nothing.
Nothing.
You know what I mean?
Your focus is on Maxey.
If I'm a coach, I'm going up against Embiid and the Sixers. I'm sitting there going, all right, guys, get in Embiid's face, make him make mistakes, get him in foul trouble, put a lot of it on Maxey right now. And I think this year you're not going to be able to get away with it as much as you would be able to get away with it, because I think Maxey is making that progress, hopefully. The process is dead, Rob. Yeah, well, it's been way dead.
Yeah.
If you trade Embiid, the Sixers will start a bottom 10 team. Just be careful what you wish for.
I do wish for it because you know what? Are they going to win the championship with him? This has been my whole argument about Embiid is you're not going to win with him. So if you ain't going to win with him, get rid of him. That's just it for me. Like, I'm sorry. He hasn't shown you the point of him being able to get you past the second round. He got to go. Yeah. I don't care how many MVPs he won. Again, he's the Dak Prescott of the NBA. Great from November to April. But once May hits, my man disappears.
And listen,
becomes the Phantom of the Opera.
Look, we can't complain about the injuries, but still, you can't turn your cheek on last year when him and Embiid or him and Harden had the Boston Celtics on the ropes, and then they ran out of fuel, and then you had one guy just standing there on the perimeter, didn't look like he didn't want the ball in his hands at all. He didn't want that pressure. So guess what happened? On the Mother's Day, you, me, Sean Bernard, and Dives did a post-game show, and we had nothing but a load of people screaming. You want them out of here, both of them, in a package deal. But anyway, listen, it's Father's Day. We have to...
Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Steve saying picking 04 was not part of the process. I think he's saying it was forced. I would rather sell all assets for Mikal and Laurie than sign Paul George to a max. 100% agree with that one. I'm cool with the possibility of being a bottom 10. It's better than being a team eliminated in the second round looking at us at 18 to 25 draft pick. Brazil. Yes, because I read it. It must be a little behind here. Hey, Barb, what's going on? Embiid will have zero trade value in 2 years. For me, Colangelos have more egg on their face than Hinkie, and I'm happy because they thought their shit didn't stink. Brian C's exec of the year with Toronto was a
Crony Award.
A Crony Award. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. LeBron isn't coming to Philly. I'm okay with that as well. Morey only has 2 players he has drafted left on the Sixers in Maxey and Reed. So how can we have confidence in Morey in drafting? I agree. I've never had confidence in Morey, to be honest. KD is 36. Yeah, exactly. I agree with Mike. LeBron Jr. is anything special. No, LeBron is no. His son isn't even in the NBA if he
Yes.
wasn't LeBron's son. Let's just throw it out there. Preach, the Colangos, and Elton Brand completely decimated the Sixers. Yeah, I mean Elton Brand. We forget that. We forget a lot about that. KD is a hair club for men advert. Sam Presti learned from Hinkie's mistakes. OKC needs to add to the backcourt and compete with the Timberwolves and Nuggets. Here's Embiid, fella. Give me some of the assets, baby. OKC is probably signing Hartenstein. Give good move for them. Hartenstein is going back to the Knicks. All right, so I think that's about it. Should EOP put up a Philly wants LeBron billboard as a marketing ploy?
No.
I don't know how my name stuck to that. Thank you very
Uh,
much. But before we get out, it is Father's Day. Pat, as you were saying.
yeah. Listen, it's Father's Day, so I mean, I want to talk about. Listen, a special time. You know what I mean? It's a special day. You listen, whether your old man had a catch with you out back, maybe down the playground, maybe there was a sport event. My dad used to take me to the vet all the time, to watch the birds, the
Yeah,
fiddles.
that's what he needed is a doctor's appointments. That's when he took him to the vet.
Yes. I fell from the 700 level.
They should have spayed and neutered him. Just
Yes,
in case.
yes, I fell from the 700 level, and I should have been all those things. But I mean, so Al, I want to go to you. I mean, what was like, maybe a special moment down, maybe at the vet with you and your old man, and hanging out. I mean, like today, it's Father's Day and sports goes, such a great combine, right?
Not in my family.
No.
No. My dad had skipped a generation with him. Not big sports fan, but my dad, I'll give him this much because my dad's a great dad. This is not it has nothing to do with anything. Sports fan, my father was not, and it is not, I should say. But he sat through thousands of practices, thousands of games of mine. Did take me to games, begrudgingly because I'm sure he could have done a million other things with his time. Um, you guys met him at the Phillies game when we all went out together.
Yes.
That's not my dad's bag. I mean, like he enjoys it to a point, like he'll watch it with people. Super Bowls are fun because there are parties or whatever have you. My dad, not a sporting event, but the rest of my family, my grandfathers, both big time. Before my grandfather passed, we got to watch the Super Bowl together and all that stuff. So it's sports and fathers go hand in hand a lot of times, and sometimes in different ways. Like I said, my dad, not the sports guy. That I learned that from the rest of my family, I would say. But he sat through plenty of my irate moments being a sports fan.
Yes.
He has been big behind the scenes with EOP and helping out and supporting me when most people are like, dude, you got 4 kids and a wife and a full-time job. What the hell are you doing running a sports network? Well, so my dad was big with that one. So
nice.
That's how I look at it.
Well, I mean, look, same for me. Again, going to the vet a lot with my old man. Just fishing with him. He always liked to fish, except for the one time we went fishing. I caught a duck, and he had to get the hook out of the duck's neck, and he looked at me and said, "Son,
you killed the duck, son. You
killed
the
duck. The best part of you just went into the shower drain. I knew it. And Fran, this was the mistake. This one was the mistake." And then he also said, but the one time I took him to a wrestling event of mine, and
I'm sorry. Did this really happen with the duck?
Yes, ask my brother. My brother Chuck will tell you. I caught a duck wide fishing. And
Chuck's the only one who could cast his line in the water and hit a zebra.
I did. All I heard is whack, 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 and my dad said, "What in the world?"
And that was just the noises coming from his bedroom.
So my dad just grabbed the duck. It was screaming for his life. He had to rip the hook out of it. He looked back at me and just shook his head and said,
it's gonna be a long life.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long one.
So, or like, the one time we went fishing, he said, "All right, throw him in." I took the fish rod, looked at it, and threw it in the water. So, but yeah, there was that. And like the time I took it out to wrestling show, and, I faced Kwame. I worked Kwame that night. Kwame threw me around like a paper airplane. And my dad said, "Son, you're getting beat up here." I said, You think? You
should have thrown in the towel, son.
Yeah, no, my dad enjoyed every minute of that beat down.
Dive saying for him, tons of memories going to the vet with his dad, watching the Phillies and Eagles. Also going to F&M College in Lancaster, watching Sixers training camp. All right. There you go.
There you go. That's awesome. You know what I mean? I'm like, I know it's a tough day.
Well, I mean, I had good times with my dad. Ours, believe it or not, was mainly football season. My dad was a lifelong Cowboys fan, but he wasn't the annoying type of Cowboys fan.
Right.
He
Like
would
Pat.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't like so.
Wearing his Cowboys colors right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he just had Philly printed on the front of that,
Look,
along with his bra.
really,
But
really throws people off.
but yeah, like my dad. I remember sitting back watching. Matter of fact, it was the pickle juice game.
Oh,
And my dad was sitting there looking. And if you remember that game, they actually Fox came on the sideline reporter actually came on. And they said, "Oh, the way the Eagles are beating it," because if you remember, a lot of Cowboys went down with cramps, and he started hearing it. My dad looked and was like, "My dad looked at me and was like, boys are going to get killed today." He said, and like he would be the type of person if the Eagles would win the game, he'd be like, "Hey man, the Eagles deserve to win the game. They played a lot better." Like, but
oh, he's a straight shooter.
yeah, but if the Cowboys did win, he would kind of nudge it a little bit. He'd be like,
Oh yeah.
he'd be like,
Just like,
"Ah, you thought you had a victory there, didn't you?" Like, so I mean,
just like with the Eagles won, I'm sure you kind of nudged it right back at him
all the time.
Yeah.
I looked at him. I said, "Hey, you know what that is, right, Dad?" I start doing the bird. In front of him. Yeah, I said, "Yeah," and but I don't know like that, and I think more or less now when us becoming dads,
Yeah.
and
they still allowed me to do that. That's kind of crazy, man.
yeah, that's yeah.
I mean, even Pat. I mean,
Yeah.
the license to drive a car, but he's allowed to have children. I haven't figured that one out.
Again, poor Monique.
Well,
But anyway, but just watching like my son, he does the Giant show over on Out of the Box, with Danny.
What a great! You guys got an NFC East family. You got an
Yeah,
Eagles.
dogs.
You're an Eagles fan.
Yeah,
your
my
dad's a
son
Dallas fan. Your son's a Giants fan.
Yeah, so
His grandson's a Commanders fan. Apparently,
that's probably what's going to happen. But yeah, the joy is getting back watching him be a father now. So it's pretty cool. Like I said, I got 6 grandsons.
wow.
So I got my starting 5 and a bench. So I mean, hey, I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed,
Yeah,
and
I mean-
I hope everybody has a really good Father's Day.
yeah, no, I mean that's
Same here. I mean, look, I got my offspring in the office with me. I mean,
poor kid.
Listen, again, he's big into karate. Last summer, he took me. We went to Ocean City, Maryland together. He punched me in the chest because he wanted to show me his tiger punch. He knocked the wind out of me, but I love him nonetheless. So I'm glad Anjo's in the
Put him
house.
the Blue Oyster when they went to show him his donkey punch. But,
oh, that one
I'm
hurts
just
a
glad,
lot.
I'm just glad to
No,
say
that one feels good.
Yeah.
I'm just glad to say I'm glad he looks like Mo.
Yeah.
Kid got lucky in the looks department there.
Yes, he got lucky there. He looks
Yeah,
like
he
his
did.
mom.
Yes, he does.
Rob saying many Philly sports memories with my dad. Season tickets to the Birds, lots of Phillies and Flyers games as well. May he rest in peace. And that's the thing is like for everybody, not just fathers and men, and even on Father's Day is an emotional day, like Mother's Day for some people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to kind of reflect back on these moments as well. After clearing out college dorm freshman year in '91, my dad and I sat on a mattress to finish watching Tommy Green's no-hitter versus Montreal. We were about 2 hours late getting home. I don't blame you, man. That's pretty cool. That's what I love about that. Like I have those moments. Like I said, my dad not a big sports fan, for like my grandfather. I remember being over his house when the Flyers went like with 5 OTs or something against the Penguins.
Oh my God, yeah. That was in.
That got done at like 1 a.m. or
Yeah.
something.
2:30.
Huh?
2:30.
2:30.
I was working at a bar. That's the only reason how I know.
I was eating dinner at my grandfather's house, and we were watching it, and we're like, this is gonna keep.
Yeah,
going.
me and our buddy Mike Heiser, God rest his soul. We were working at a bar called Tattletales up in Philly. It was a gentleman's club. We were stocking the bar.
Sure, hope so.
Yeah. We were we were bringing up the beer or whatever, and one of our bartenders started going nuts. It was like 2:45 in the morning. She's like, "Oh my God, Mike!" Of course, she says, "Mike." So of course, me and Mike go running upstairs, my other buddy Mike, to see what's going on. She's like, "We're like, what's the matter?" They're like, she's like, "Oh my God, they won!" And we're looking up at the TV. Our buddy Mike Heiser turned around. He goes, "Man, you called me up here for some Flyers game?" He goes, "I'm trying to go home." He went back downstairs.
That's hilarious. No, but like I remember being in his house. We had dinner there. We were hanging out, and like to one point, like luckily my grandparents live around the corner from me at the time, and my parents I'm like, all right, Dad, like my dad's like, we have to go. I have to work in the morning. You have school in the morning. I was in high school when that game was going off, so you need to go. So we like literally waited for in between. I'm like, Dad, can we just finish this OT? Finish the OT. It's like probably I don't know, a little after midnight at this point. One of the OTs get finished, and I'm like, all right, Dad, be in the car. I'll be out in 2.5 minutes according to this thing. And then I jumped in his car. I'm like, drive, 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 drive. I mean, it's only like literally 3 blocks away. I probably ran home as fast as I could have driven home. And just went up to my room, put the game on. My dad's like, "You're supposed to be in bed." I'm like, "Dad, I'm not gonna not watch this." He's like, "Fine, just don't tell your mother." I got one of those moments. Don't tell your mother.
The one that stands out to me is watching the '93 World Series with my old man and Joe Carter hitting that home run, and all I saw sitting there, in front of the TV was that remote just going by my head, right into the
You
TV.
sure it went by your head?
Well, I think he was aiming for it, but yeah, he hit the TV. He thumped every closet door in the house, punched every hole. I mean, this dude was pissed. You should have saw. He was trying to break everything in the house. I said, "Wow."
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I got a ton of memory. I mean,
Yeah.
like my dad. Like the first time I was like, the first time Yankee turned 21, you go out and you get really, really
Yeah,
ossified. Like my dad and my mom always told me, don't ever get behind the wheel of a car. If once you feel impaired, we could always go back and pick the car up the next day. And I remember one day I was supremely hammered, and I called. My mom didn't drive, so I called my dad on the phone. And I was like, "Pop, I need you to come get me." And he was like, first thing he said, he goes, "Everything all right? Your car all right?" I said, "I've been drinking. My car's parked. I don't want to get in it." He said, "Where you at?" I told him where I was. I think I was at an after hours club. So this is like 4 something, like 4:45 in the morning.
Yeah, I would have murdered your soul.
Oh no. I had to take him. Believe it or not, this is what he did. He goes, "All right, I came up and got you." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm kind of hungry." I said, "So am I." He goes, "All right." He goes, "Let's go to Aramingo Diner." We went to the old Aramingo Diner, and I bought him breakfast for coming to get me. My dad goes, "That's a fair trade off." So I mean, it was kind of cool. Like we did little stupid stuff like that. Um, like I said, on a day like today, when your parents ain't here, it's a little harder.
Yeah.
But
That's why I say it's an emotional time for a lot
Yeah.
of people in that situation. But it's also a good thing to sit here and reminisce about it too. It
Yeah.
is a cool thing.
Yeah,
Like I
it's
said, it's funny how different me and my father are in a lot of ways, but also like alike. It's
Yeah.
scary. Like my mom, like how we talk. Like if I put him on the phone with you and you didn't know any better, we even sound alike on the phone. But like my dad, not a drinker, not a partier, never was like that, and doesn't do sports. So like we differ there, but like everything else, we're too much alike. And like I'm telling you, like when we started this business, I didn't even I don't know how to like do QuickBooks and all that. Thank God my dad was there to show me how to do it. Because like today, I had a dad moment recently. Just the other day, my son had to buy his first car. His technically his second car. His first car was kind of donated by a family member who passed, but so his car was dying. He's in college, and he's like, I need a car, and like he's up there, and I could see it was like a deer in headlights. Didn't know how to answer certain questions and all that kind of stuff. So, he kind of looked at me and said, "Thanks for being there." Like, because I remember like my dad was there when I bought my first car because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Like,
Right.
these guys are selling you a car, and like half the price. They're trying to double it because they want to give you like all these different warranties and guarantees and all this stuff. One of my favorite moments though with my dad was about a couple of years back. My dad, as crazy as I am, my dad is not. That's where we do like a lot of us differ. He finds it amusing when I get a little like if he was he could probably care less about what the Phillies talk was, but listening to us going back and forth, he'd get a big kick out of it. He thinks when I go off the rails, it's funny.
Yes.
One of the few people who think that.
I do.
But
Yes.
I had speaking of cars, like my car I had right now when I first bought it. It was certified used, and I did buy some sort of package with it. So within like a couple months, I already had a problem. I was having some electrical problem, and it was wintertime. So I bring it in. They called me up and they said, squirrels were can nest in people's cars in the wintertime to keep warm on the engine. And sometimes when they do, they get in there and they chew on the wires or something while they're in there, and they need to, and we fixed it for you. So I'm like, all right. So I go up to pick up the car. My dad drives me up there, of course. And the girl there goes, okay, it's 600 and yada 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 dollars to fix it. I'm like, no, I have this warranty. It says they cover everything except for brakes, tires, and windshields. Like that covers everything but that. And she's like, oh, let me check on that. And then comes back to me, and the manager comes out. This guy, he starts telling me, he goes, no, well, see, it's an act of God or a nature thing or something. This isn't a wear and tear problem. I was like, I was like, "Are you?" And I just at this point I started losing it. I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I'm like, I'm just dropping every f bomb. I said, "So you're telling me because squirrels were effing in my car? And I said, Squirrels are having sex in my car. I'm the one getting effed. Is that what you're telling me?"
Yeah.
And so my dad's sitting there and trying not to laugh at me, but also trying to calm me down. And then we're like, "Well, sir, it just happens that way." I'm like, "Oh, did you have a little squirrel detective go in there and take semen samples to find out that that's what happened, or is it just these things got Can you prove that they were chewed through versus just fell apart?" After I got everything said and done, the guy actually ended up giving it to me for free. Like he put it under the warranty. But my dad's sitting there going, he's laughing. He goes, "Al, you really turned one out around on him." I said, "Dad, I learned from the best." He taught me how to wheel and deal.
Smart man, smart man. Well, listen, guys, we're just at the end of it. Mike, what is the meal of the day?
I have no idea. My wife is actually taking me
Oh,
to dinner. So I'm actually
very nice.
Where are you going,
I have no idea.
Oh, it's a surprise.
Oh,
Oh.
That's if she's feeling
she gonna
up
put
to
a
it.
blindfold?
No, that's if she's feeling up to
Oh.
it. She's been a little under the weather lately. So
That's all right. Have a blanket party.
right, Pat. Anyway, what are you having for dinner? Oh, wait a minute.
No,
Pasta.
Is she
no
making pasta?
I'm having ribs, macaroni and cheese. Oh yeah.
Wait.
Wait a minute. It's Father's Day, and you eat pasta every Sunday.
Yeah. Well,
Now the one Sunday.
Well, he is still having macaroni and cheese. Anybody else catch that, or is it just me?
Yeah, he did smile pretty hard.
Macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, you had a cheese smile.
I'm gonna have to see if I can call Kraft up and get a sponsorship with that.
Yeah. Get Pat.
Is she making this? You go to a party? How's this working?
No, she's making it from scratch.
There you go.
Oh,
So you're making her work?
it's Father's Day.
Father's Day. Yeah, why not?
I'm kicking my feet up.
Oh, all right. That's every day for her.
That's
Yeah.
every day.
That's nothing
I'm
new
a
there.
hardworking man.
Our boy Steve saying my dad and I were at Geno's when the Pirates scored 10 in the first inning.
I was at that game.
I bet him we were winning. He paid up in 10 season tickets planned the next year.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I was at that game.
That's
Me and my
pretty-
older brother went to that game. We were matter of fact, by the time we got our concessions and got to our seats, it was 5-0. We were like, "What the heck is going on?" And then they came back throughout the game.
In '88, the Giants scored 2 in the 12th inning. I hear the wall get a hole punched into it.
Yep.
If we win, you patch that hole tomorrow.
Wow.
Bob
Dernier hits a 3-run homer.
It hits a 3-run
Inside the Parker.
inside the Parker. Yeah, cleared the bases.
Yeah, listen, I've been very fortunate in my lifetime. Like I found a box of my old ticket stubs. I actually have. Oh Jesus! I actually have a box, Al, that actually has my ticket stubs in it. I have Terry Mulholland's no hitter
There you
from
go.
1990.
Should put that in a look. They sell cases for them. They're real cheap too.
Really? I'm gonna have to look into it.
They're like
because
little plastic things. You put little screws in it.
Well, here's the
tightens to it.
thing. This ticket that I have, it was in a form of a baseball diamond.
Mhm.
Had SEPTA, had Phillies, and then SEPTA. What it was you took it down to the game.
Mhm.
You got free. You could ride on the L for free.
Okay.
You got there. You presented. You got a general admission ticket for that game. I got a general admission ticket for that game sitting around somewhere.
I have the was it the 97 All-Star game?
96.
96. I have that ticket still. Yeah, I keep all my stuff. I have all my tickets from 08 and 09.
Really?
Oh yeah, I have my wife and me. I think it was around Father's Day many years ago. We got a plastic frame and we laid them all out. We used the rally towels as backing from the 08 season. So yeah, I got a ton. I mean,
I gotta go.
that's one of the reasons I'm looking to buy a new house is because I have so much stuff and it's
No,
all packed up in boxes.
And before we get out of here, guys, I want to recommend you guys catch at 9 o'clock tonight, all across all the time, that you will be recapping this Water Dog again, losing. Well, they got a game today at 3. So, guys, if you want to catch that, do that as well.
So just so you guys know, they just did release the lineup card and no Trey Turner. So
No Trey Turner. All right. Well, listen, and of course we got the fighting finals tonight. And again, we have a lot of action here, but no, I remember
Steve, I'm interested.
that would
Get
be,
at me.
yeah, that would be interesting. I wonder what, to be honest with you, like from a collector standpoint, I wonder what they would be worth. Like original.
I got a lot of Philadelphia Stars merchandise, dude. So
the recent one me and my father-in-law we went to a Flyers and Red Wings game. And
I'm
that's
sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off, but probably worth more than
Wow.
Garrett Stubbs. That's hilarious. That was a good one, Steve. I think that might be the comment of the day right there.
No, so yeah, like I took my father-in-law to go see Flyers and Red Wings not too long ago, and that's when Wayne Simmons he dropped what's called with one punch from there. But yeah, I mean, hung out with him. We had decent seats. Yeah, it was great. Good time.
Well, here's another thing. Here's my dad not being a sports fan. He gets to be part of sports history again. The year 2010. Remember last game of the season?
Yes.
Phillies. Flyers. Rangers. Right.
Mhm.
And everybody thought they were done, but some things had to fall their way, and they had to beat the Rangers, and they ended up going on that 2010 tear. I had tickets to that game, and I was going to bring my nephew, and he wanted to go, and I had to work. Work called me, and I had no choice. I couldn't take off. So my dad takes my nephew to the game, and he was actually at that game. I'm like, "Do you even know?" He's like, "No,
Yeah, to him, he was just there.
He was just there that one game." Yeah.
Well, guys, I think we're going to wrap up.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap up yeah, we're gonna wrap it all up.
Yeah, you got to watch it.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna wrap up like we're not celebrating Father's Day.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yes,
Exactly.
Yes, I like it. Nice.
So, for the voice of God, Al Severi, my partner, Pat Bernard, I'm Mike Lawyer. We will see you guys next week.
Macaroni and cheese.